In Matthew chapter 5, verse 28, it goes something along the lines of, I'll post it here too, that he who has looked upon a woman with lust has committed adultery already in his heart. I've touched upon and mentioned a few things about watching what you manifest, how you manifest. Make sure you're clear and concise and bring into your life the things that you need out of a place of kindness and love and good. It is so important to really understand that, and not because you're gonna like create some sort of evil environment or something bad is gonna come upon you. Even if it does, it makes no difference. You can quickly come out of it and change it. After all, failing at creating the manifestation that you want is part of the process to becoming the spiritual being that you truly are. And the spiritual being is nothing more than the creative power to do good, to help, to create for yourself the things you want in your life. Spirituality, although there are many, many levels to spirituality and many, many good and bad outcomes of spirituality, make no mistake about it. Even if you're unaware of this stuff, you're still spiritual. And even if you're using your logical and reasoning mind, you are still creating. You are still manifesting. It's only now become a mainstream term, and we apply it to our daily lives. Some of us do, I should say. I don't want to say that we all do. Although, as I said, we all manifest, whether we're aware of it or not. Just when you go through the process of a spiritual awakening, you understand that spirituality and being spiritual means that you are moving towards becoming a manifesting guru. Spirituality is all about manifestation. It's all about changing from the person you once were to the greater person that you truly are. And all of that is manifestation. It gets a bum rap because of certain things attached to it. But I want to focus on this verse by Matthew here because it took me a while to get it. I didn't really understand it. Even when Neville was explaining it, it kind of went over my head back in the day. And now I fully, completely understand this verse, that he who looks upon a woman with lust has already committed the crime of adultery in his heart, because it is your mind, and you're not watching your mind. It is sometimes even your words that you speak and not paying attention to your words and not keeping a civil tongue. But more often than not, it is where your thoughts are. That's why many people struggle with manifestation, and they say, why isn't it coming to me? Why isn't it coming to me? Oh, this doesn't work. Oh, this is all the devil's work. This is nonsense. This is crap. And I'm just going down a road filled with like devils and demons and stuff like that. You're not, because like I said, you manifest in your daily life. You're just not aware of it. When you come to a spiritual awakening in your life, you see this clearly. Things start happening. Coincidences, what we call coincidence, start appearing more often. Synchronicities and all sorts of psychic supernaturalism things start happening to you. And you understand as you progress spiritually and you grow spiritually that you are what is appearing to you. You have set this up for yourself, for your spiritual journey. This is what takes place in order for you to become the greater you that you truly are than the you that was once upon a time in the world. You're still in the world, but you're not of the world. And so a lot of people cry and complain about my manifestations, this and that. They don't happen for me. This is nonsense. And there's a lot of mockers out there. There's a lot of people that take it to the extreme and can make one feel horrible, and can send them down terrible roads by the accusations and the things they say about them. Why your manifestations, more often than not, are not coming to you is because you also have to deal with the thoughts in your head. And the thoughts in your head are also part of the manifesting process. They're also part of that creative force that can either uplift you and make your manifestations come to you quicker, or they can be your downfall and, have you in a state of like, what did I do? What did I do? I can't believe that I did this. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. Like, what happened? What happened? You have to pay attention to your thoughts. And that's what this verse is. This verse is telling you the pitfalls of manifestation, and it's taking it to the extreme. The author here has allowed his Jesus Christ character to go to the extreme and tell you what will happen. Because I guess they were so steeped in religion and whatnot back in the day. And some people still to this day have some sort of reverence, or some sort of obligation to protecting themselves from acting up, misbehaving, or falling into a trap such as what is mentioned in Matthew. But Matthew is also pointing you to your thoughts, that you are a creative person. The Jesus Christ that awakens in you, the Jesus Christ that awakens in everyone in the New Testament is a life-giving spirit. It is a creative power. And there are so many manifestation verses in the Bible and how to use them. But this one here, along with as a man thinketh, so is he, or something like that. I'll put the verse up here. Those are prime examples of not guarding your heart, not watching your thoughts, not paying attention to where your mind is. And often, like I said, sometimes words too. Sometimes speaking out certain words, saying the wrong thing, acting foolish without thinking. You know what I mean? These all are projections of what will eventually face you down the road. And these, like I said, this verse here with Matthew is to the extreme, but it is also telling you that you are a powerful spiritual being and you create constantly. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are constantly creating. And so this is one of the pitfalls of creating, not guarding your thoughts, not paying attention to how you feel, and maybe just manifesting willy-nilly, as I said in a previous video, just manifesting willy-nilly and not thinking anything of any outcome. And then when the outcome does generate what you were looking for and wanted, it won't favor you. It won't favor you, and it'll hurt you and maybe others around you. Because you are constantly manifesting, to think of a woman that walks by and then all of a sudden to imagine you being with her and going through all sorts of sexual interactions with her. Again, you're putting it out into the universe, if you will. Again, you're putting it out there that it may come to pass, and you may actually fall for that. You may actually become a part of that imagining that you had in your head. And you may find that maybe in the moment it was great and it was fine, but the outcome could be that maybe you've hurt yourself being in a relationship or married or something like that. Or maybe you hurt that woman that you thought about and came to you through your manifestation. Maybe she was in a relationship, maybe she was a mother, a wife, had children and whatnot, and the damage that it could cause, not to mention the emotional damage that something like that can cause. And the emotional damage is the main thing really here to really pay attention to, because if you are on your way to manifesting, creating the life you want, and you get sidetracked by not being aware of your thoughts and where your thoughts are, you could manifest something opposite to what you wanted and feel terrible and horrible after that. This is not anything to do with church and what the church thinks or what the church says. But this is very much directing your attention, this verse here, I should say, is very much directing your attention to the spiritual being that you truly are, to the creator and creative power that is housed within you that you have access to. And as I said, whether you're aware of having access to it or whether you're not aware of having access to it, you need to be constantly aware. Your thoughts don't stop. Your thoughts are constantly moving around and talking and speaking to you, and you have to pay attention, and you have to weed out what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life. Spirituality is a very real thing, and that is what you are. And a spiritual awakening is a transformation from the old you to the new you. And along with it will come obstacles. Along with it will come challenges that you have to face and that you have to overcome. At the same time, you will be able to control your thoughts. You will be able to master over your thoughts so that your thoughts are not just like being scattered, like the wind scattering leaves around on the ground. They won't be just like all over the place. But it takes time and it takes practice. At the same time, this is where meditations and affirmations and stuff like that may be a benefit to you, may help you, even creating your own. Actually, I highly advise creating your own, because you can read all the words and prayers and manifestations, meditations left behind by others for you, and that will only get you to a certain point. However, you have to see what they left behind in the written word of their meditations, and you have to take it onto yourself, and you have to create your own healing or thought control meditations and practices. If you're going down the road of meditation and prayer, I highly advise that you make your own, that you make it yours, that you put your heart and soul into the verses that apply to you and what you want to see in your life. That will help you until you get to a point in spirituality where you're strengthened, where you'll feel this silence. You'll feel this silence within you and all around you. Your thoughts, you can never eliminate thoughts. The thoughts will always be there, but they won't be as loud. They won't be as noisy. They won't be noise pollution and obstruction in your head. Your body, yourself, will become calm. Even your speaking, you will understand what it means to speak when it is necessary. You may feel that growing spiritually, something is being taken away from you, like your voice, like your ability to think and whatnot. But it's that verse in the Bible again. I'll post it here, where it says, fret not as to what you will say at that moment, because at that moment it is not you that speaks, it is the Father who is in you that speaks. Again, another pointing to God is within. You are slowly, through your first spiritual awakening, being made and transformed as you progress through life into the image of God, until you come to that second coming, that second awakening that happens for you, and you realize that you are this life-giving spirit, that you are this all-powerful being, and that there is only this all-powerful being in the world and no one else. So there will come a time where you will be able to master over your thoughts, and you will be able to pick and choose the thoughts that you want to entertain. And more often than not, I'm telling you, because it happened to me, you won't even care about the thoughts that come on. And when that time is necessary for you to bring something into your life, to create something in your life, you'll find with that noise pollution and that obstruction that once upon a time was in your head, constantly rambling off things, these things you saw, read, or heard, or talked about, feelings and emotions also talking to you and speaking to you, you'll find that in that silence, when you get to that point of that silence, you'll pick and choose which thoughts you want. And more often than not, you'll pick the thoughts that are good for you, good for others, and that will help you and guide you and protect you. And not only that, you'll also see that manifesting and your manifestations will become quicker, and they may even speak to you in a sense too. You may get up one day, practice, let's say, your meditation, go out about, there's no thoughts in your head, you're not thinking anything, you're still, you're quiet, you don't even have the urge to speak or say anything. And then you may hear something, a still small voice that says to you, let's say you wanted something for your home, and it'll say, your home will be taken care of. It won't be something big. It will be your inner self speaking to you, telling you that what you want is on its way, and you'll know. And by silencing your thoughts and your mind and not dwelling on these thoughts, and more often than not, it's dwelling on the past. And by just doing this and growing in it, and starting from like let's say your first spiritual awakening, and learning to control your thoughts and trying to fight off the thoughts that you don't want in your life, you will start growing in learning how to master over these thoughts. You will become God to these little devils and demons that constantly, are attacking you. And they will say to you, well, we know Jesus and we know you also. And they won't be able to harm you or touch you, because thoughts do a lot of harm. Thoughts do a lot of harm. Everything from mental disability to anxiety to PTSD to all sorts of stress factors to thoughts. Thoughts have ruined the world, to be honest with you. It's a thought-based world. That's what it is. And thoughts are circulating constantly around us. Sometimes these voices that you hear in your head that you think are thoughts, or your past, that may be a situation you're preparing for, or an outcome you didn't expect, or some sort of embarrassing moment or something like that. These thoughts are what the world is made of. This is the programming and the conditioning of the world. So these thoughts can very much not be you, because as you progress spiritually, you'll also understand a psychic connection to every single person and every single thing in the world. And that doesn't mean you're psychic. You're no more psychic than your neighbor or anyone else, or the psychic down the street charging $100 to do a reading for you. That psychic ability is in every single one of us. It's spiritual. It is a spiritual thing, and you are a spiritual being. And like I said, you may have your own thoughts, your moments, your own time where you think about certain things and they're constantly bombarding you. And then other times you may walk into a situation where someone left a thought impression, maybe an argument, a fight, a disagreement, something. And that transferring of emotions between the two people having that communication left some kind of impression in the air. And you may walk into something like that and carry it home and wonder, why am I feeling all of a sudden negative? Why am I feeling down? Why am I feeling blue? And why are my thoughts racing and acting all out of order? And this feels like chaos is going on in my head. There is only one in the world, and we are all psychically connected. I use the word psychically because, I want to try and capture a word that can express what we truly are, because we are connected to one another. We are one. We all house the same spirit in us, and there's only ever one spirit in the world. So we are all connected. So it's not something that is unheard of to feel great one moment and then feel bad the next moment, but by having certain thoughts and things come into your head and into your mind. Maybe 95% of the time they are yours, but 5% of the time, maybe 10 or 15% of the time, those aren't your thoughts. They are transmissions you are picking up. You are a radio station and you're picking up signals all the time, The great majority of the signals are yours. Make no mistake about it. They are absolutely yours. But spirituality, when you go through that spiritual awakening, you will understand that there is a psychic link and a psychic connection to every single person around you. It may show up in dreams. It may show up in thoughts. It may show up in patterns around you, even synchronicities. But all of these things, make no mistake about it, do play a big part in how you manifest and what you manifest. And that's why it is important to pay attention to your feelings and your emotions, to pay attention to who you truly are. So you understand that I need to change this about me. I will do this rather than do that. I will avoid any interruption concerning an outcome unfavorable to me, but I will focus all of my attention on manifesting a favorable outcome for myself. You know, and, and again, I need to point you back to this verse in Matthew chapter 5, verse 28. This is very much a warning about manifesting falsely, and it is gone to the extreme here. The author here has really taken it to the extreme using adultery, but you can use anything in its place because your mind is constantly working, is constantly thinking. What are you thinking of when you're manifesting? Why are you raising your fists and yelling that my manifestations are coming true? What happened between the moment you put that manifestation into the world and the moment that you got it? And let's say in between the moment, what happened in between there that may have delayed your manifestation? And then after your manifestation came to you, what happened that you were not able to appreciate it and love it and want it the way you did when you put it out into the universe? That's what this verse is pointing you to. Be careful of your thoughts. You know, you will not manifest correctly or properly if you do not guard your thoughts, guard yourself, protect yourself. And there's lots of verses and plenty of places in the Bible and in the New Testament itself that tell you to guard your heart, especially your tongue. The tongue is an unruly member of the body. No one has been able to tame it. It is a fire that causes the fire and the pit of hell to burn, something like that. I've gone way off base paraphrasing, but I will put it here. I believe it's in the book of James. But it's very true. You have to be careful of what you say, and you have to be careful of what you think, especially when you are trying to manifest. When you first throw out your manifestation into the world, I am telling you, you're going to be targeted. You will absolutely be targeted by yourself and by your thoughts. You have a Satan quality in you, and it's called the ego. And the ego can be good or bad. The ego also masquerades as an angel of light. You are the only light in the world. You are this angel of light. You are God. You are Jesus Christ. You are everything spiritual that you truly are. You are a spiritual being. However, you do have a quality in you, that human quality that roams around the world like a lion looking for who to devour. And that human quality is the ego, and that ego can manifest all sorts of certain things. And the ego is very well aware that you're light, you are spirit, you are spiritual. And it will masquerade itself as light and spiritual and being spiritual in order to delude you and convince you otherwise. So you have to constantly be aware of being aware. And like I said, there will come a time where all of this stuff will hush up, will quiet down, will become a place of like you picking and choosing what you wish to entertain. And when you get to that point, you have mastered over your thoughts. But when you get to that point, as I've said all along here, you will understand that there's a silence that comes with it, a silence of knowing when to speak, and knowing that when you do speak, it is not you that's speaking, but it is the Spirit in you, your Father in you, that is speaking. The greater you that is in you than the you that is in the world. For greater is he that is in you than he who is in the world. So I just wanted to share this verse here with you guys, my thoughts on it, and how to maybe possibly help you guys with controlling your thoughts. This is T-Talk. This is Nick. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next time.